It's 2:14 a.m. The coast near La Guaira is dark and quiet, and Venezuela's air defense crews think everything is under control. Inside their radar rooms, the screens glow the same soft green they see every night. Nothing moves, nothing changes. It feels like a normal shift. But above them, something real and dangerous is already here. A black aircraft, almost impossible to see even at close range, crosses the coastline without sound and without a single radar return. The crews expect at least a flicker, a small echo, anything that shows movement in the sky. Instead, the screens stay clean, perfectly clean, like the system is blind. At that exact moment, a B-21 Raider is passing over the mountains toward Caracas at low altitude, recording every antenna and every base in silent detail. Down below, the officers sense only one thing. Something is wrong, and they have no idea where to look. Caracas is one of the most protected airspaces in Latin America, and every radar crew in the country knows it. The S-300VM sits on the mountains of El Avila, watching the skies around the capital. The Nebo-M in Barinas scans long-distance and low-visibility targets, and the Chinese JY-27 and JYL-1 systems in Paraguay run around the clock. These crews believe nothing can cross the capital without them knowing first. It is their job, their pride, and in many cases, the thing they have trained for all their lives. That is why what happened this night matters so much. A B-21 Raider, the newest stealth bomber in the US inventory, moved straight through this network like it was not even there. It did not block the radar. It did not jam the radar. It simply never appeared on the radar at all. For the crews on duty, this is more than a technical issue. It is a direct hit on the one thing they trust most. If the system cannot see the sky, then nothing else matters. Caracas is not just a city. It holds the presidential palace, military headquarters, main communication hubs, and air bases that support the country's defense. Losing visibility here means losing security everywhere else. And for the first time, the crews realize the truth. A bomber flying right above them can slip through undetected and leave before they even know there was a threat. That is the moment when panic does not come from noise or warnings. It comes from silence. If this conflict of stealth versus sensors catches your attention, press 1 if you think radar should have seen the bomber, or press 9 if you think no system on Earth could have stopped it. Inside the Venezuelan air defense rooms, the first minutes after the silent intrusion feel wrong. The Nebo-M operator watches the radar line sweep across the screen. No dots, no spikes. He adjusts the gain and resets the filter, but the screen stays perfectly clean. He taps the console once, hoping for a reaction, but nothing changes. At the S-300VM site on El Avila, the crew restarts their main console. They expect the usual noise burst, but the system comes back too smooth. A young technician checks the cables and cooling lines and reports everything normal. His officer nods but keeps staring at the display, troubled by the silence. A healthy radar is never this quiet. In Paraguay, the JY-27 team switches to low-frequency mode, the setting meant to catch stealth aircraft at long range. The operator zooms in, hunting for even the smallest flicker. The sweep refreshes. Empty sky. He tries again. Same result. A third time. Still nothing. The room grows tense as they realize all three sites are seeing the same perfect calm. While the crew search for answers, the B-21 Raider is already crossing the mountains, flying low and steady toward Caracas. Its sensors pull in every signal, every antenna pattern, every piece of data. At this altitude, another aircraft might leave a small return, but tonight, the B-21 blends with the night so well that the radar network cannot touch it. In Caracas, a supervisor orders a cross-check between all sites. Barinas reports clear sky. Paraguay reports clear sky. The coastal radar reports clear sky. 3 systems, 3 regions, 1 answer. The supervisor clenches his jaw. Too many radars agreeing can mean everything is normal or that something slipped through all of them at the same time. A short argument breaks out. One officer wants diagnostics. Another reminds him diagnostics blind the system for minutes. The supervisor ends it with, "Keep everything online. If something is out there, we need to see it." but deep down, no one believes they will. Meanwhile, the B-21 reaches the city edge. It passes over La Guaira, heading towards central Caracas, collecting data from every direction. Its engines leave almost no thermal trace. Its shape disappears into the background. On the ground, the radar crews sit in front of comm screens that now feel more threatening than any alarm. Silence fills the room, heavy and sharp. They cannot prove a threat is there, but they can feel the possibility growing by the minute. The danger is not the noise. The danger is the lack of it. If you were standing behind those operators, would you trust the radar or your instincts? Press 1 if they should have raised an alert, or press 9 if staying calm was the right move. Inside the Caracas Air Defense Network, tension climbs fast as every radar site tries to break the silence. In the Nebo M room, operators switch frequencies and widen the sweep. The radar updates, but nothing appears. No dots, no noise, no irregular spike. The officer watches the empty screen, feeling something is off. Radars are never this clean at this hour. At the S300VM site on El Avila, the crew activates a backup channel. The machines hum as they power up. Everyone waits for any sign of activity, but the return comes back flat and calm. The officer lowers his headset and stares at the display. He has seen quiet nights before, but this one feels wrong. In Paraguana, the JY-27 team runs a slow, deep scan. The radar sweeps the coastline and mountains, but the results are identical to the others. Clean sky. The operator calls Barinas, then the coastal radar. Both confirm the same situation. 3 different systems showing the same perfect calm pushes the entire network into quiet panic. While they try to explain the silence, the B-21 Raider continues deeper into Caracas. It crosses La Guaira and moves toward key military sites. The bomber maps communication towers, antenna fields, and radar positions without showing up on a single screen. Its sensors record everything while the operators below still see nothing. Inside the command posts, officers argue quietly. Some blame interference, others mention weather. But the systems are stable, the power is normal, and the radar lines show no signs of malfunction. If something were broken, the screens would show noise or glitches. Instead, they show a silence that feels like a warning. A synchronized sweep begins. All eyes focus on the displays. The result does not change. Empty sky. The operators trade uneasy looks. They train for jets and missiles, but not for a threat that can pass through the capital without leaving a trace. The longer the silence lasts, the more it feels like something has already slipped past them. Above them, the B-21 finishes its run, turns toward the mountains, and prepares to exit as quietly as it came. The crews still believe the night is calm, unaware that the bomber has already gathered everything it wanted. If your radar stayed clear during a real intrusion, press 1 if you'd call it a failure, or press 9 if you think no system today could have stopped it. The real twist of the night does not happen in the sky. It happens hours later, when the radar crews finally go home thinking the shift was slow, calm, and uneventful. For them, nothing happened. No alerts, no noise, no suspicious returns. The sky looked clean from start to finish. But before dawn, quiet messages begin moving through a few defense contacts in Washington. Nothing official, nothing public, just short notes passed between people who usually stay silent. The notes mention a test flight, they mention a deep penetration run, and they mention that the aircraft crossed a defended airspace without being detected at any point. The small details spread fast in defense circles, even though no one says the country's name out loud. By midday, those same hints reach a few Venezuelan officers. They read the lines twice, then 3 times, as if the meaning might change. A bomber crossed their airspace. A bomber flew near the capital. A bomber recorded their defenses. And they never saw it. The officers do not want to believe it, but the timing fits perfectly with the strange silence from the night before. None of their systems reported a malfunction. None of the radars showed noise spikes. Everything had appeared normal, and now that normal looks like the biggest warning of all. Meetings begin behind closed doors. Officers sit at long tables, avoiding each other's eyes, trying to decide if the leak is real or propaganda. Some suggest that the us exaggerated the mission. Others argue that the radar crews may have missed a small echo, but everyone in the room knows the truth. 3 radar sites do not fail in the same way at the same time. A perfect clean sweep from every system means something passed through with technology they have no counter for. That is the twist. The danger was never the noise. It was the silence that carried the threat from one end of the capital to the other. The officers now understand that by the time they realized something was wrong, the bomber had already left the country. If this kind of hidden turn would worry you as much as it worried them, press 1 if you think the radar crews were outmatched, or press 9 if you believe the leak was meant to send a message. Inside a closed room in Caracas, senior officers gather after reading the leaked reports. The screens in front of them show only standard system checks, and that empty display now feels more frightening than an alarm. One officer asks if anyone saw even the smallest echo during the night. Another says no. A third shakes his head. With every answer, the truth becomes harder to ignore. They go over the timeline step by step. If the B-21 really crossed their airspace, it did so without triggering a single sensor. No radar blinked. No thermal alert sounded. Nothing suggested an aircraft was moving across the capital. Their entire network, built to defend the most important city in the country, stayed blind from start to finish. A system that should have reacted instantly acted as if nothing passed through at all. They try to explain it. One officer mentions low altitude. Another mentions thermal masking. A third brings up the new generation of materials that bend radar waves. Each theory leads to the same conclusion. The B-21 may operate at a level their current radars cannot reach. No one wants to say they are outmatched, but the silence in the room says it for them. If the bomber wants to enter again, they may not be able to stop it. Meanwhile, in the engineers and pilots review the mission data. Radar logs, thermal measurements, and mapping footage show the aircraft performed exactly as designed. Its radar signature remained as small as an insect. Its engines stayed cool. Its sensors captured every detail of the Venezuelan air defense network without being detected. There were no warnings, no interruptions, and no signs the enemy ever saw it coming. For the team, this confirms the bomber is ready for real operations. Back in Caracas, the officers stay seated, staring at blank screens. They know the world shifted in a single night. Their defenses, built over years, proved unable to detect a modern stealth bomber even for a moment. They talk quietly, but none of them can offer a real solution. All they can do is accept that something unknown flew over their capital and left without a trace. If you were in that room, would you call this a turning point? Press 1 if yes, or press 9 if the real challenge is still ahead. By the next morning, Venezuelan officers review every radar log from the night before. They expect to find a glitch or a power dip, but the data shows the opposite. All systems ran smoothly. No drops, no errors, no frozen screens. The silence was real, and that is what unsettles them the most. A radar network that works perfectly should not miss anything, yet it missed everything. They gather again in small rooms, closing the doors behind them. Some try to blame software lag or brief interference. Others argue that the silence across all stations was too consistent to be natural. When they put the reports side by side, the pattern becomes impossible to ignore. 3 radar sites, each using different frequencies and equipment, all saw the same empty sky at the same moment. The only conclusion left is the one they least want to accept. Something advanced passed through and none of their systems reacted. This leads them to a larger fear. If the B-21 can move through Caracas without a trace, it could do the same in any large city with similar defenses. A threat that cannot be seen cannot be targeted, and a threat that cannot be targeted cannot be stopped. For years, Venezuela believed its Russian and Chinese radars could handle any modern aircraft. One silent night showed the weakness in that belief. In the analysts review the mission with steady confidence. The bomber kept its tiny radar signature, stayed cool on thermal sensors, and collected everything it needed without alerting anyone. For planners, this confirms the B-21 is not just invisible, it is able to operate in places designed to keep it out. For Venezuela, the aftermath is a difficult path forward. They cannot admit what happened publicly, but they also cannot pretend nothing changed. Their defense strategy now has a gap that cannot be filled quickly, and every officer in the room knows it. They understand that future missions may come with less warning, less silence, and far more consequences. If you think this mission proved how far stealth has come, press 1. If you think the real test for the B-21 is still ahead, press 9.